Good people, Sanbunan, Makevalo. Today we'll be doing this revision, this paper from Gauteng, September 2024. Okay, let's get into it. Now, in question 8, calculus, the first thing that they ask you is the first principle. So it's very important to know the standard formula of doing the first principle. So f prime is equals to lim into h approaches 0 into uf into x plus h minus into uf at x all over h. Now equals to, then lim into h approaches 0. Now from here it's going to be negative 2 into x plus h all squared plus 3 into x plus h, and then minus this minus the whole f at x, now bracket minus into x squared plus 3x, and then all over OH. Now continue with my lim, so it's going to be lim into h approaches 0. Now this is going to be negative 2, and then this, doing this, is going to give me x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. You can do it separately, opening the two brackets, and then do it. It's going to give us this. Then from here, I times by these 3 inside here. It's going to give me 3x plus 3h, and then open the bracket with this negative. It's going to give me a positive 2x squared, and then minus 3x, and then all over h. Now equals to, now let me first deal with the like terms that are happening here. I can see that this gonna cancel this, then I'm gonna be left with these two here. Now let's open the bracket here. Now opening the bracket, remember lim into h approaches 0. Then this and this gonna give me a negative 2x squared. Then this and this gonna give me a negative 4xh. Then this and that is gonna give me a negative 2h squared. And then this and this, they already cancel. So I'm left with positive 3h, then plus 2x squared, and then all over h, and then lim into h approaches 0. Now let's deal with the like terms. Now this cancels this, and then I'm left with this everything here that has h in it. So I'm left with a negative 4xh minus 2x squared h squared, and then plus 3h all over H. Now from here, I hope you can see that I'm having H, I'm having H, I'm having H. So the common factor there, which is what? Which is H. So lim into H approaches 0. So it's H into, if I already taken H, I'm left with this. So it's negative 4 xh. I've already take one h in these 2h squared. So I'm going to be left with negative 2 h, and then plus, I've already taken h, so I'm left with what? With 3. Then from here, all over what? All over h. Now I hope you can see now that this h is going to be chopped by this h. Now I'm going to be left with lim into h approaches 0. So I'm left with by this. So it's negative 4x minus 2h, and then plus 3. Now after here, if I substitute now this h approaches 0 here and then putting 0 here, I'm no longer writing the lim here. So it's negative 4x minus 2 into 0, and then plus 3. Then from here, this is going to be negative 4x and then plus 3. Now this is the derivative using the first principle, but also to check your answer, is it correct, using the power rule now of finding the derivative. This is just going to be negative 4x x is not x squared, it's just x, and then here derivative is just plus 3, which is this is exactly the same as this. That's the derivative. Now, moving forward on this one, now here we are going to use the power rule of finding the derivative. Now, what is very important here, they say we must find the derivative of 9. So after doing the derivative, we need to substitute 9 here and get the value of f prime into 9 in terms of what is going to be. That is very important after doing your derivative. Now, this here, this 3x squared all over 2, remember, is exactly the same in saying 3 over 2x squared. So don't get confused there. That is very important point there if I'm going to do my derivative. Now here, I hope you know that the square root of x is exactly the same as x into 1 all over 2. That's what I'm going to do there before I do my derivative. Now f of x is exactly the same as 2 into 3 over 2 x squared, and then minus 24, and then x into 1 over 2. Now let's do our derivative. Now my derivative is going to be, now remember, this times this is going to be giving me 3 into x, and then 24 now times 1 over 2 is going to give me a negative 12, and then 1 over 2 minus 1 is going to give me x into negative 1 over 2. And then I'm not done here. After doing this, they told me I'm looking for the f prime of 9. So it's going to be f prime into 9, meaning where I see x, I substitute 9. So it's going to be 3 into 9 and minus 12 into 9 and then negative 1 over 2. Now if I can punch my calculator there, 3 into 9 minus 12 into 9, then negative 1 over 2, which is going to give me 23. So this is the f prime into 9. Just the easy 5 marks here. There's nothing more that we can do here. I hope we're still on the same page there. Now, let's do this one. This is very important. Now, the function of g, which is this, has a minimum. The first thing, if you're having this word minimum come into play, minimum, maximum, you need to do the derivative, which is what? The gradient. Now, after doing the derivative, you know that the derivative is equal to what? 0. Now, they told us here that there has a minimum and the value at x is equals to 4. So after finding the derivative, we're going to have to substitute this value of 4 into x. Now, the function value at x, now here, this is the whole function now, which is this function. They told us that the x value of that is 4 and his y value is going to be 96. So when we are substituting this into this, it's just the function. Here we're going to substitute this 4 as what? As a derivative in terms of this minimum. That is very important word there. Now let's start with what they told us first here. They told us that has a minimum, so we need to derive this. So first, let me take this to the top before I derive, because I can't derive when my x is here. So my g of x is going to be ax squared, and then plus b into x into negative 1. Now the derivative here is going to give me 2ax and then minus b into x all over 2. If I take this, it's going to be minus 1 here, which is 2, and then take that underneath, it's going to give me this. Now from here, my derivative is going to give equal to 0, and the value of x, if the derivative is 0, is equal to what? Is equals to 4. That is very important. Now let's substitute there. So 0 here is equals to 2a, and then 4, and then minus b into 4 squared. Now from here, this is going to be 8a minus b all over what? All over 16. Now if I can take this, because it's negative, to the other side, it's 0 here, and then it's going to be positive b all over 16 is equals to 8a. So if I cross multiply here, my b is going to be equals to 16 times 8, which is going to be 128a. So this is going to be my equation number 1. b is equal to 128a. Now let's do the other parts. Now the function value has the x is equal to 4 and is 96. Now 96 is equal to, now substituting in this function that I have here, and then a, and then my x value is what, is 4 squared, then plus b all over of 4. Now from here I'm having 196 is equals to, now this is gonna give me 16, so this is going to be 16a, and then plus b all over of 4. Now this is equation number 2. Now from here simultaneously I can say, I can substitute equation number 1 into equation number 2. So I know wherever I see b, I can put this thing here. So from here I can say 96 is equals to 16a plus, I know there is b, I know b is what, is 128a, then all over this 4 that I have here. Now from here I can take this to the other side, which is 96 minus 16a is equals to 128 a all over 4. Now from here I can do the cross multiplication. Remember, all this is over 1, so I can times this by this 96 and then this 16. So 96 times 4 is gonna give me 384, and then 16 times 4 is gonna give me negative 64a all over 128a. Solving for a, take this to the other side, so I'm having 384 is equals to, so that's gonna be 128 plus 64, which is going to give me 1928. Then divide by 192, divide by 192. Our value of a is going to be, so 384 divided by 192 is going to give me 2. Now remember, I still need to find my b, so I know my b is equals to 128. I know this is 2, and then 128 times 2 is going to give me 256. Then from there, to check your answer, is it correct, you take your a, you take your b, you substitute it here, also putting this value of x, and then can you see it is going to give you a 96. If it gives you 96, then we are on the right track there. Thank you so much guys for watching. Umakebalo.